Well. I do believe that this is going to be one of the funnest episodes in recent memory because I have invited the dopest engineer on the planet to come on with me to discuss something that we had argued about earlier in the day on Friday. But I don't know if he's going to be able to make it. If he's not, it's all good. If he is, more power to the show. And speaking of the show, this is the ShakeBack Sports Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. Check it in, baby. Live, loud, and in color. You already know what it is, man. I'm telling you right now, baseball season is here. The NBA playoffs around the corner. The NFL draft around the corner. And who better than to chop it up than with your boy right here on the SBSS on the BGCSN. That's right, baby. All those doggone letters, and they amount to what is going to be a tremendous episode. I got Darian Hopkins, CEO of DH Impact Media, coming in the second segment. We're going to talk Geno Smith and the extension that he got from the Raiders. In the third segment, we got to get to some NBA, and I'm going to tell you guys who I think is going to win the Final Four on the men's side. Not necessarily, well, we may even talk about it on the women's side, but for sure on the men's side. But before we go any further, big day, and if you do decide to join in, cool. If not, I'll know it's because you're probably scared because I owned you in the debate off air earlier on Friday. But nevertheless, be that as it may, this first segment is being brought to you by us. Who is us? We is us. Who is we? Well, we is the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's the overhyped, unofficial, slightly censored draft talk at the Turkey Den. Lock this date in Thursday, April 24th, 7 p.m. Central Time. It's the overhyped, unofficial, slightly censored draft talk live from the Turkey Den at 1201 Oakland Boulevard, Suite 1111, Fort Worth, Texas, at the BGC Sports Network. Teams up with Jazz Cliff Radio for an evening of draft talk that's lit, as well as a delicious menu of Southern sophisticated specials and a great atmosphere. I hear they got some Gator out there. And if you guys haven't had any Gator, I would advise you to at least try it once because that's some good eating. Anyway, did I say Thursday, April 24th at 7 o'clock p.m.? Just wanted to make sure it's the overhyped, unofficial, and slightly censored draft talk at the Turkey Den Thursday, April 24th, 7 p.m. That's right, baby. It's going to be absolutely epic. We'll see you there, and we don't want you guys to meet us there. We want you to beat us there. Okay, so Big Day, whose show you can hear weekdays, this SIC show, Monday through Friday, 11s and 5s, 1s and 6s on the BGCSN 1 and 2. Again, Monday through Friday. Make sure y'all check out this SIC show. And I'm going to say this about Big Day. He is my big brother. I love him to life. He has poured so much into me, not only as a person that does this for a living, but for a person that is grounded in the faith of Jesus Christ and one who can preach the word as well. And he can also sing a nice little melody. But in the conversation that we had on Friday, we were talking about the immortality of quarterbacks. And he told me that I kept changing the channel. In other words, I kept moving the goalpost, which I did not do. And I asked him, how did I do that? But he could not answer. But be that as it may, we had a heated debate for about 30 minutes. I said, come on the show, man. Come on the show. I text him, come on the show. And maybe he'll show up, maybe not. But anyway, so we were talking about these quarterbacks, both currently that are playing, Aaron Rodgers, of course, and the historical greats from the past, mostly those of which, or really all of those of which we have seen. So I have 4 categories. I have all-time elite. I have all-time great. I have great. So what's that? Yeah, I have all-time elite, all-time great, and then great. So it's 3 categories that I have. Now, the all-time elite, everybody does not belong in that room. And I understand people want to say Troy Aikman and Terry Bradshaw and John Elway and whoever else you want to throw in there. Now, again, I'm only talking about the players that I've seen play. Can't really speak on those that came before that. But my thing is this, is that my criteria may be different from somebody else's criteria. For instance, I always like to say the best that I've ever seen, not the best of all time, because I didn't see everybody that played all time. That debate stretches across all sports. So when I talk about the all-time elite, the for me and my my specifications, you have to be these things. You have to have at least 2 Super Bowl championships with 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and or you got to have at least 1 Super Bowl MVP, 1 Super Bowl win and 1 Super Bowl MVP with at least 2 regular season MVPs. So that's my criteria. I'm not saying that it works for everybody. I'm not even saying it works, period. But this debate was spawned or actually inspired by the big homies over there at I gotta find them. This was sparked by one of the big homies on Twitter, right? And I actually texted them, or I'm sorry, I what did I do? I sent them a message on Twitter and said, "Yo, I'm gonna be talking about this because it's your discussion sparked a hotly contested debate between me and the dopest engineer in the world, and here we are." So for my all-time elite, there's only like 5 quarterbacks that's in that room. And I'm going to tell you who they are. They are. And thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook through my personal page, through the Media Group's page, as well as the network. Also on LinkedIn, YouTube, through the BGC Sports Network, Instagram TV. I see you guys out there watching, and of course, Twitter. Here is my all-time elite quarterbacks: Aaron Rodgers, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. How many is that? 5? Those are my all-time elite quarterbacks. Why? Joe Montana has what? 4 Super Bowl championships with at least 2 MVPs. Now, Joe Montana did not win. I don't think he ever won any regular season MVPs, but he's got 4 championships. Tom Brady, we know what Tom Brady is. Did I say Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is an all-time elite quarterback in my book. Yeah, I know he only has 1 Super Bowl championship. Yes, I know he only has 1 Super Bowl MVP, but Aaron Rodgers has 4 regular season MVPs. And before y'all start hollering, well, where's Drew Brees? I'm glad you asked. Drew Brees and Dan Marino, they are really they could be the only 2 exceptions to my criteria, because we know how great Dan Marino was. As a matter of fact, I was telling Big Day that Dan Marino and that Miami offense kind of helped change the game from an offensive standpoint, because of what they did to the Chicago Bears in that Monday night game way back in 1985 or whenever it was, when the Dolphins beat the Bears 38-24 and Dan Marino just straight up carved the Bears defense up. One of the best defenses ever. We know that. I know he only went to 1 Super Bowl. I know he only has 1 MVP, if I'm not mistaken. I know he has 0 championships. That's why I say he will be on the fringe because of that. But his talent and what he was able to do to revolutionize the passing game in the NFL, I think that put for me, maybe not for you, but for me, it puts him on the fringes. Now, for y'all out there that's saying, well, what about Eli Manning? Well, Eli Manning, yeah, he has all-time great numbers. Over 57,000 passing yards. He has over almost 400 touchdown passes. But when have we ever said Eli Manning is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL? We've never said that. And then for people like Big Day that said Terry Bradshaw deserves to be in the conversation. Okay, so let's talk about that. He's got 4 Super Bowl championships, right? But I would like to say this again. When have we ever considered Terry Bradshaw to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Now, Terry does have a Super Bowl. I think he has 1 Super Bowl MVP, maybe 2. I know he has 1 regular season MVP, but Terry Bradshaw's numbers were terrible. I mean, he threw 210 touchdowns, but like 200 interceptions. That's not elite. That's not all-time elite. I'm sorry. So then let's keep on going. We know Tom Brady is there. We know Peyton Manning is there. That's not even up for debate. They actually walked into this room that I created. Now, here we go with Drew Brees. Okay, Drew Brees is on the fringe. Even though Drew Brees threw for the amount of yards that he threw for, the amount of touchdowns that he threw for. Here is my beef with Drew Brees, and I'm gonna add this to the stage right now. For all y'all out there that's watching, Drew, you see all these numbers that are bolded in black? Those are the numbers that dictate or that illustrate Drew Brees being the league passing leader in those categories for those years. So look at the yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times he led the league in passing yardage. Look at his records during those years. 10-6, 8-8, 13-3, 7-9, 7-8, 7-9. Okay? For all y'all that want to say, well, winning is not a quarterback stat. Well, I didn't say that it was, but since they got it on here, we got to talk about it. Drew Brees, once again, touchdown passes, led the league 34 in 08 and 09. And then in 2011, he had 46, and then he had 43 in 2012. But also 2012, he led the league in interceptions at 19. As a matter of fact, Drew Brees has more double-digit interception years than Aaron Rodgers does by times 4. And I'm going to put that up here in just a second. So I understand all of that. But Drew Brees, again, 1 MVP award in the regular season, 1 for the Super Bowl. He's got a couple of Offensive Player of the Years. That's cool. He's been a million Pro Bowls. Also very cool. He's led the league in yards per game several times. He's led the league in completion percentage 6 times, with the highest being in 2018 with 74.4%. And of course, the Saints did go to the playoffs that year after winning the division. So that's my debate in terms of Drew Brees. Now, I have about 4 minutes left to go in the segment. So I need to hurry this up because I got to get to, actually not even that long. I got 2 minutes left to go in the segment. So I need to hurry up and get to Aaron Rodgers' numbers in comparison, because we are closely comparing Aaron Rodgers from a historical perspective, Aaron Rodgers along with Drew Brees, right? Right or wrong? You shake your head like this if you're out there watching. So let's go ahead and let's look at Big Day. You didn't come in here. I'm disappointed in you. Let's go ahead and look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers, okay? Now, of course, Aaron Rodgers is still playing, barely. And, he's not. Anyway, he's not under contract. Let's just put it that way. So he, let me do this. This is fun, y'all. I can have a conversation by myself, with myself, to myself. All right. So what I'm saying basically is this: is that Aaron Rodgers' numbers are crazy numbers. Aaron Rodgers has had double-digit interceptions only 3 times in his career. The first time was the first time he started. The last time was last season when he was part of the worst coaching situation, arguably in the history of sports. He's got 4 MVPs. He's got 1 Super Bowl MVP. He's led the league in passing yards, not one time. However, he has led the league in touchdown passes twice 48 in 2020, 40 in 2016. Led the league in completion percentage in 2020 at 71% when he completed that many of his passes. And here's the thing too, ladies and gentlemen. His interception rate in his career, 1.4%. This dude has 500 touchdown passes and only 103 interceptions. So he deserves to be in there as an elite, all-time elite quarterback. If you disagree, come on back on the other side of the break. We can get into it a little bit more. Willie Epting Jr., big day, sports fans all over the planet. Y'all come on back and holler at us.